Okay, so what I'm going to talk about right now is greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. So this is greatest, which means the biggest, right? So it's like the biggest common, so they both share it, factor. So a factor is a number that goes into another one. So it's the biggest number that goes into both numbers. So for example, 45 and 60. All right, to find the greatest common factor, you have to break down the numbers. You break them down into what? Two numbers, and you can start any two numbers that multiply to get 45, and I'm going to use 9 times 5. And then you just keep on going. 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, and that's as far as you can go. Those are the prime factors. I'm not going to go any further. Okay, 60. 10 times 6. 10. 5 times 2 times 3 times 2. Now, that's as far as you can go. Now, you're looking for what they have in common, what they each have. They each have 3 times 5. They each have a 5, right? And they each have a 3. So your commonality is 5 times 3. So that means your greatest common factor is 15. It is 15. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Next, let's try another one. So let's try 36 and 240. All right. Break down 36. Two numbers that multiply give me 36. This is greatest common factor. 36, 9 times 4. Okay, this is 3 times 3, and that is 2 times 2. Okay, if I were to multiply this line right here, if I were to multiply this line, I should get 36. Sometimes people leave out numbers. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, 18 times 2 is 36. Now for 240, okay, because we end in a 0, I know that that's 24 times 10, right? Then 24 can be broken down to 8 times 3. 10 can be broken down into 5 times 2. 8 then can be broken down into 4 times 2. Okay, the 3 comes down, times 3. The 5 comes down. Make sure you bring them down, and the 2 comes down. Okay. So now what do they have in common? We have a 3 here. We have a 3 here. Okay. We have a 3 here. No 3. That's not. Then we have a 2 here, and we have a 2 here. We have a 2 here, and we have a 2 here. So what do they have in common? They have a 3 times 2 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. The greatest common factor is 12. Okay, edit. Let's do another one. All right. Let's do 38 and 76. This is greatest common factor. You're breaking them down. Factors of 38. What two numbers multiply to get 38? Well, that doesn't necessarily show up in the times table because there isn't, so, but I can, because it's even, I know that 2 goes into it, right? So I can just quickly say, okay, how many times does 2 go into it? And that is 19. So 19 times 2. 76. What do I do? Well, I know it's even, so I can divide it by 2. 3, 6, 1, 16. That is 38. 38 times 2. Okay, and this is, again, we did this one, 19 times 2 times 2. What do they have in common? They have 19 times 2. So 19 times 2 is 38. There's my greatest common factor, 38. Okay, let's try, sometimes you have three numbers. So the greatest common factor of, let's do 4, 6, and 8. Again, you need to break them down. 2 times 2. This is 3 times 2. This is 2 times 4, which is then 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2. What do they have in common? Well, this one has 2 2's. This is a 3 2, and that has 3 2's. Okay, well, let's start. They have a 2 in common, and that's it. You don't have, you can't say, oh, this is in 2 and that. No. What do all three of them have in common? They all three just have 1, 2. So that's the greatest common factor of 4, 6, and 8. It is 2. Okay.